up, everybody? Welcome back to Sell High Dynasty, but this year, you already know, we're on that redraft grind, so we cover it all. We'll be back again. We ain't fucking going nowhere. It's myself, OozyDaPrince, Aaron.
And your boy, DedmonWalkin.
DedmonWalkin, this man's going
Over 2. 0 for 6.
6. I gotta try to keep my dog a little calmer this time around, so we'll see how that goes. I see you wearing a Brewers jersey. I was at Crafty Cow. I went there. By the way, overrated, not very good. They had some good hot chicken bites that were pretty good, but overall kind of overrated.
In Bayview.
In Bayview, it's like half Crafty Cow, half hot chicken or something like that, and they must not have a lot of volume on Wednesday nights, so they only had half of it open, and they even had a lounge area that was cool. But I was telling my girlfriend when I was there, I was like, they should just make it one restaurant, and then the other one's just a bar that serves their food up until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, but then it's a bar that can bring people out. But they just close the restaurant altogether. It's just a stupid ass business model.
Yeah, I hate shit like that. Some shit just seems so obvious sometimes. I don't know. I hate it when restaurants or places are closed on Sundays. Of all the days you're gonna be closed, a Sunday.
You get that in those religious places like Utah or Cincinnati randomly doesn't sell liquor for a certain
Even
time.
in Milwaukee, there's places restaurants and stuff that'll just close Sunday, Monday for no reason or something like that. Monday, Tuesday, of course, is more popular. But speaking of decent, Ken's 80th birthday was yesterday, so we went.
Ken's 80?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
No, he's not.
Yeah,
Ken is 80 years
he's
old.
in good ass shape, yeah.
Holy shit, I thought he was old 50s, mid 60s.
I know.
Your mom's Ken is 80. Your
I
mom's
know.
not 80, right?
No, she's 70 something. She's
She
72.
doesn't even appear that old either.
No, she's 71, but Ken is 80. So
still fucking on the fucking.
He's in great shape. Shout out Ken, great guy. But we went to Sail Loft. I haven't been there in fucking a decade.
That's down by Summerfest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Had a fucking lobster roll. I haven't been there in so long. I thought it fell off.
Did I ever tell you about? I usually just walk down South Shore, and sometimes depending on my walk, if I'm not ready to go home, I'll just grab a beer. But I grabbed a beer, and there was a sailing race going on, and then it was just jam packed, and I was just sitting by myself at one of the picnic tables, and this random guy comes up to me, and he was like, "Bill, stop." He was telling me about his dates and stuff like that. How I guess there's a fat girl and stuff like this. So I was like, dude, whatever. I wasn't trying to hear it, but I was just being nice. I had my headphone in, but I just one out. And
yeah.
But he was telling me that he races and stuff like that, and he owns a sailboat. He just seemed pretentious as fuck. But my way to assimilate with him, we were talking about the yacht club, and I was like, oh yeah, one of my best friends, his stepdad, runs the tender there. If you know a guy by the name of Ken, he's like, oh yeah, Ken just told me the other day, yada yada yada. But yeah, and then I was telling him about, because I had Bill with me, and then I was telling him about his dog and stuff like that. So.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, shout out Ken.
Shout out Ken.
He only met Bill once or twice, but he loves Bill.
Fucking loves Bill. He loves dogs, yeah.
That probably helps him keep him young. He's got a German Shepherd puppy.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
That's a fucking lot of work. Shout out to our fantasy league. John bought his mom a puppy, a German Shepherd puppy.
Oh, he did?
And then she shipped it off to Hannah's brother because we told John it was a bad idea, that it's a lot of work for a puppy, especially a German Shepherd, and then...
Shoot.
Yeah. It came from the right place, though. John taking L's everywhere, just he caught that L for me last week, putting up them high points.
Ooh.
I owe our Dynasty League a recap. I'm sorry, I don't have the fucking time that I had last year. I got shit to do now. So.
Oh yeah, the recaps. Yeah, shit.
So shout out Stevie for putting out his power rankings. I love that shit. I hope that's a week-to-week segment. We'll see if his team starts to dip. Maybe if those power rankings still go out, or how honest they are. But I was down top, so I fuck with this.
His team's looking good. honestly.
Kamara coming back?
Yeah, Kamara comes back next week. And, yeah, I mean, we got games tonight. I got a few 49ers. Aaron just told me that Brandon Ayuk is out, so I guess it's full go for me with Kittle and Debo. I was considering playing Jake Ferguson, honestly, because dude's been a red zone monster. And also the Cowboys are just good. But no, I'm going to stick with Kittle.
But yeah, I think Kittle, he hasn't had a touchdown this year, or he might have had one week 1. No, he didn't.
No, yeah.
But yeah, so he'll probably get a touchdown. I'm playing against him, so he'll definitely get a touchdown.
Plus, the Giants have looked like shit. Like, even though they came back and won against the Cardinals, they started off 20-0.
Where is this game tonight? Is it in New York or
It's
San Fran?
in San Fran.
Oh,
And the line is 10.5.
No Saquon. Yeah, big thing was Matt. Well, this is going to come out after all this, but Matt Burrito is the hot name to pick up. I had zero interest in getting any of the Giants running backs. It's like they're going to have a long time off. Next week they play Seattle, so like, yeah, maybe you'll have that, but I'm not playing the fucking any running back. Daniel Jones is their best running back right now.
Yeah, not everyone is Saquon, and I feel like people are starting to remember that now that it's in season. Like, you can't just replace every running back. Austin Eckler is not easy to just replace. Jonathan Taylor, even if Zach Moss had a good game. Nick Chubb, R.I.P., Jesus.
R.I.P. in peace.
And, yeah, it's, I mean, do you got a pick for this game at all? If I'm looking at this,
well, first let's revisit our. Well, yeah, we can just pick this one quick. The over under is 42.5. I don't fucking know. I would not want to bet this game.
I'm gonna take the Niners. This just is lining up for an ass whooping, in my opinion.
Yeah. I guess I'll just take the Giants. Just maybe they had a good second half. Maybe they got things together. They started playing a little freestyle, like balls to the wall kind of football.
I think they get Wandale back.
They get Wandale back. That'd be fun to see him. I loved him last year. He was a great slot guy.
Yeah, I like him.
If he can maybe play that Richie James role. Darren Waller had a good game, but yeah, going up against this 49ers front seven, when their offensive line is already shaky, it's going to be fucking tough to be consistent. But yeah, just recapping our picks from last week. Bob went 6-1-9, or 6-9-1. I don't know if he put the tie or the push at the end, but whatever. And then I went 7-1-8. So overall for the year, Bob is 16-15-1, and I am 14-17-1. So still we're both just right there. So this week we're gonna probably do it a little bit different, where we're not going to spend so much time on each and every game. Like this game tonight, we're not even going to see it enough time, so we're not going to spend much time on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to actually ask you, the reason I brought up Crafty Cow is because when we were at the bar, we kind of went early, around like 5:30. They had no sports on or anything, so I was wondering if the playoffs started for the Brewers, because you're wearing a Brewers shirt.
Not yet.
It didn't start yet. Are they in the playoffs
They've
now?
got 2 more wins to lock in a playoff position, and then 3 more wins ahead of the Cubs to be the Central winner.
And there's like, what, a week left or something?
I think so.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, I know that shit's coming around the corner, but yeah, I'm about to be a Brewers fan again once the playoffs start.
Let's go, Brewers.
And I already know, I haven't watched a game all year, but I technically went to one game where with the guy from the Reds, I remember you forgetting his name, the good guy was 44, where he stole home. I was blackout drunk at that game, and I was personally there, but I didn't actually.
That shit was awesome.
Again. But I already know the Brewers are just going to have 0 run support. They're going to have probably really solid pitching and 0 run support. And then probably a reliever that has been good all year is going to be shaking the postseason. So hopefully I'm wrong, but I'll watch.
What about Sal
Frelick? Josh Donaldson, so that's cool.
They're young guys. I don't know enough about baseball.
The only thing I know about Sal Frelick is that he lives in my old building, Urbanite, because my ex-girlfriend, that's like the host there or whatever, the attendant or whatever you call him, he moved in there.
I was only at one game too.
He's not bad enough to
or maybe 2, but we saw Shohei Ohtani hit a home run, which was tight, before he got hurt. I don't know if he's still playing right now or not. But, anyways, I don't follow baseball enough. Go Brewers. I got the MLB question today, right?
I was curious.
Thank God. On that.
Oh, I got it wrong. I put Indians. Yeah, the Daily does in trivia. I only share my results if it's like over 6 or 7, or if it's like a funny answer. But I think the Bucks were an answer too.
Yeah, the Bucks were. That was awesome. It's almost Bucks season too.
I know Giannis is out here fucking making waves on this random little ass webcam podcast that he did with these like people you've never heard of talking about how the Bucks aren't in it to win it, that he's gonna leave. But that's not even like real like news to me. It's just obvious. Like obviously the Bucks are in it, but it's just weird to hear him say that. But I wouldn't even blame him, dude. I want to go play with fucking Steph Curry or Dame Lillard or play in Miami where he can get people. The Bucks are stressed for Cap right now. They should move down from Middleton. Yeah,
we can't hate no matter what he does. He brought us a championship.
He'll be a Milwaukee legend forever.
So, yeah.
Banners fly forever.
Yeah, he'll always have his Milwaukee connection. We plugged his family, so can never hate against us for that.
Really on the plug, really on the plug.
But yeah, I mean, getting back to it, this next game we're looking at, Titans-Browns, anything about that? Titans are surprisingly good, and Browns are surprisingly not good.
Surprisingly good. That was the story of Brandon Staley being the first coach fired. I already knew he was on the hot seat. He'll be on the hot seat forever. He's just a soft-minded ass coach.
Yeah.
So he clearly doesn't connect with his players. They have too much talent on their roster to be so soft. I don't know if it's their jersey colors or what, but he ain't it, Chief. The Titans are not good. That's just a good coach variable. Coaching a shitty coach. Tannehill only dink and dunk all down the field and had a couple bombs to Treylon Burks. But Derrick Henry was limited yesterday in practice. He was out today. So I saw that late in the day, and then it made more sense why Willie texted me his interest in Tajay Spears and Roshan Johnson for one of his receivers. I understand where it's coming from now. But the Browns, I think, are more the story here because the Titans have a good run defense, they say. That's why Josh Kelly didn't fit in well. He was a good play last week.
Best run D.
And shout out to Sean Watson. I won my game by 1.8 points in John's redraft league because he fumbled at the end, and I needed a fumble. If he would have went like 50 more yards passing or whatever it was, I would have lost.
Oh shit!
So shout out him, even though I had him on my team. But I like the Browns receivers this game. Maybe give me a little Donovan Peoples-Jones, maybe Elijah Moore. Jerome Ford, though, he's the big pickup right now for redraft. I think he's not going to have a great ground game, but he might get a 1-yard touchdown or maybe a couple catches. But yeah, Jerome Ford is the name. What do you think about this game, or maybe the Browns?
I would take the Titans plus 3.5 here. Browns are in free fall. They lost Nick Chubb, who's their heart and soul. I think Amari Cooper is kind of hurt, kind of not. He's basically day-to-day. I mean, yeah, exactly. Elijah Moore, hopefully he can produce. But what's going on with Deshaun? He's in another time zone or something. Tennessee Titans actually look like they're with it. And I feel like they've got literally nothing to lose. They're trying to win their division really bad. Not that the Browns aren't. The Browns have a good defense too. But I'm just feeling the Titans all of a sudden after I feel like I was hating on them too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the over-under is 39.5, so...
Ooh, that might be an interesting one.
I think I'm going to take the over in that game. I think I'm going to take the over in that game.
Nice.
See some touchdowns, but yeah, I don't have much to say. What do you think about the Browns' offense, though? What do you think about Jerome Ford and the Nick Chubb?
Jerome Ford, I felt like he was a nice stash all season for this moment, and
is he a sell guy?
Dope that you have him. Yeah, I would say a sell guy, but he's not Nick Chubb, so that's basically all you gotta say is he might be able to do okay. Maybe he works a little bit different, but they already brought in Hunt, so what does that say?
Well, they said Stefanski said Jerome Ford's still the guy, like he's going to be the running back one, but But yeah, I thought that they might be a sneaky Jonathan Taylor team, but you don't know if they want to trade Jonathan Taylor within the same division. But I just like that my strategy in our Dynasty League is paying off just by getting all these like secondary running backs. They're all popping off for me. Like I am sustaining so many injuries with Ayuk, Cup, Saquon, and J.K. Dobbins, but I got all these bench guys just popping off. Like Kyron Williams is like a stud right now.
Yes.
And so is Jerome Ford, so I'm getting value out of them. So I think that Kyron Williams scares me a little bit because I think that if the Rams keep winning, they could be a sneaky Jonathan Taylor team because they were in on the McCaffrey sweepstakes last year. So I could see them going for Kamara or them, but yeah. Spicy takes over here. But yeah, shout out Nick Chubb. He probably is never going to be Dynasty relevant again. Sad to say. So we'll see what Sal ends up doing. I offered him Zach Moss, so if you want Zach Moss, he can have him.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough. I almost traded for a Chubb 2 years ago when I traded for Jacobs, but John didn't want to lose Chubb. So
a draft day trade curse. Nick Chubb traded on draft day. J.K. Dobbins traded on draft day. At the time, both seemed like steals.
Yeah.
2 weeks into the NFL season,
it was crazy to think about.
Worked out. So we'll see what happens this year. Who gets moved?
Yeah.
The curse.
Yeah. People are looking for RBs apparently.
I got him.
Willie's looking for some.
But yeah, we'll move on to the next game. This would be a great dynasty or a fantasy game. We got the LA Chargers at the Vikings. The Vikings 0-2. The Chargers 0-2? Or are they 1-1?
Holy shit, they are 0-2.
Yeah, they're both 0-2. So this is a loser leaves town game, as Big Cat likes to call it on part of my take. So the loser of this game is going to be in shambles. The Vikings, I saw some reports saying that if they go 0-3, Kirk Cousins might be on the move. Kirk Cousins to the Jets.
That would be amazing.
That would be awesome for Garrett Wilson owners if that happens. It would suck for Justin Jefferson owners.
What do you think about Akers?
He's a nothing. He's a nothing burger. He's literally nothing.
Yeah.
It just sucks for those people that held out on Madison. He had 2 underwhelming ass games, and he just is not that guy.
Yeah. Just another guy.
But you see a lot of points in this game. Over-under is 53.5. Kirk Cousins last week on Thursday Night Football, just having an absolute shitty game. Another couple fumbles, but then he still almost throws for 400 yards and like 4 touchdowns just because of all like the junk at the end of the games that just like the chunk plays on the field. It just makes everyone relevant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like literally everyone in this game. You're feeling comfortable playing. Maybe Parham catches a fucking touchdown. He's been getting a lot of targets for the Chargers, but. Yeah, I like everyone in this game. Fantasy, you're comfortable playing all them.
Still not sure if Eckler's going to go. I don't think he is.
Oh, really?
So Joshua Kelly might be a decent play for some people. Vikings run defense sucks. And, yeah, you got to play your Chargers and your Vikings this game probably. Chargers defense somehow looks like shit too, which is crazy to think about.
Oh, they have so many studs. But yeah, I'm gonna go with so the over it's Vikings by 1.5, over under 53.5. I'm gonna take the Vikings in this game. I'm gonna take the home team.
I'm gonna take the Chargers. I'm feeling they're so good. They've gotta be able to pull one out sometime. They're definitely a better team than the Vikings, and if not,
Bill, lay down.
Go NFC North, I guess.
If they're not, then Brandon Staley's fucking. He might be out. He might be out like ASAP.
Yeah.
What do we got for the next game?
Leading up to our next game, kind of interesting. AFC East, Patriots at Jets. Patriots are favored by 2.5 as away, and the over/under is 36.5. Looks like it's going to be a defensive. Old school football game. This game is gonna suck dick.
So I'm on my John Milan shit. So when playing defenses, I'm always on my John Milan weatherman shit. So for games impacted by a tropical cyclone that's scheduled to hit on Sunday is New York Jets and New England, Baltimore, Indianapolis, and Washington and Buffalo. So that plays a factor into why this number is so low. So if they have heavy rain, I'm going to take the under. Whenever there's Cyclone talk, I'm taking the under. So I'm taking under 36.5. The Jets are home dogs by 2.5 to the Patriots. But I'm going under. Mac Jones looks feeble. He looks like he's always in pain when he's even throwing the ball. He takes a lot of sacks. I can see the Jets coming off pissed off after being embarrassed by the Cowboys. They're at home in front of their fans. I think I like them to maybe win this game, but it's hard to say with their Zach Wilson quarterback play against a Bill Belichick defense. I don't see either team being able to move the ball that much, so I'm going under.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick on under because I could see this just being lucky to get a field goal, basically.
A punt fest and maybe a defensive touchdown by one or both teams.
Yeah.
Go, get down.
I'm going to go with the Jets just because they're home dogs. I think they do have a better team overall, even if their quarterback is Zach Wilson. But, I love Ramondre, even in this game. The Jets defense might be really good, but I still think he's a decent play. And then for the Jets,
he'll get volume, a little dump off volume.
Yeah, it's tough to be a Jet right now. Like, shout out Garrett Wilson holding them together. If you got Brees, if you got Dalvin Cook,
I don't like anybody.
No way.
Yeah.
Mac Jones and Zach Wilson, get out of here.
They're playing 8-man boxes. Be like, yep, Garrett Wilson's good, but we'll guard him one-on-one because we'll make Zach Wilson make the throw. Alan Lazard can crack block.
But, so you went the under. Now we got a Southern game. We got the Texans at the Jaguars, where the Jaguars are favored by 8.5. Wow. Over under 44.5.
I like the Jaguars defense this week as a pickup. I think I picked them up, but I have them and the Jets in basically every single fantasy league, and I think I'm still gonna take the Jets just with the weather because I'm a big weather guy. But I like the Jaguars defense if you need a streaming option.
Yes.
And after coming off kind of shaky, I saw a stat that like Trevor Lawrence is like 20 and like 10 or something like that in unders. So most games that he plays in, at least like 75% go under.
Huh.
But with that being said, I'm going to take the under in this game, 44.5, because I think the Texans have a hard time scoring. They had a lot of garbage points, even against the Indianapolis Colts, who are under very good defense. And the Colts just kind of sat on the ball once Richardson went out after his 2 tutties. So I like the Jaguars in this game. I like a Calvin Ridley bounce back. I think the Texans receivers who've been popping off recently maybe regress a little bit.
It's tough.
That's it.
This is a tough one.
ETN will have a good game too.
I think that Lawrence does have a bounce back game. Sometimes it's good to get a loss and get some fire under your ass, I feel like.
Especially one where they didn't score a touchdown too.
Yeah, especially against the Chiefs. They played them close last year in the playoffs. And Texans, as much as they had a good passing defense last year, I guess they're not as good this year passing. So, it's going to be good for them. I could see some weird scores. Someone who's been consistent, Evan Ingram, actually. I feel like that's why Jake was able to trade Dallas Goedert to Willie. He's like, Evan Ingram's fine with me.
He got a second and third for Goddard, so.
Yeah, nice trade.
And Ingram was another free pickup, so Jake's making the most of his free pickups, turn those into assets.
He really is, yeah. Texans running looks terrible, and I don't even know if I'd go with Stroud here. It's a tough defense, so pick your poison there. But in terms of this pick, I'm going to go the under 2. I don't like the Texans here, and I could see the Jaguars winning like 21-10 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, this next game is actually pretty interesting, I think. Bills at Commanders, so another weather game.
The 2-0 Commanders.
2 2-0 teams.
The Bills are 1-1.
Oh, shit, you're right. Holy shit. Shout out the Jets. Bills are favored by 6.5 and over under 43.5.
At Washington. Washington, so they're Washington's home dogs.
Home dogs. It looks like Sam Howell can pass the ball a little bit, which is
they
crazy.
put up a lot of points. He had I have Terry McLaurin in a league. Unfortunately, I've been trying to get rid of his ass by packaging with other players, but no one wants Terry McLaurin. But Sam Howell may have thrown like triple coverage and gave this guy a chance. That's all I care about with the shitty quarterbacks. Like Baker Mayfield is one that just reminds me, and Derek Carr in the red zone. They just toss the ball out of bounds and just don't give their guy a chance to make plays. But I like to see that Sam Howell at least gives his receivers a shot. So the over-under in this game is 43.5. I'm going to take the over in this game because I think that Washington, I think that they're going to be able to put up some points. I think Washington has a good defense, and that's, like you said, another weather game. So James Cook just had a baby. That's why he missed practice today. So James Cook, anytime touchdown scorer,
yes,
you might like. But yeah, the weather is an iffy one, actually. Now that I think about it, it's a weather game, but it's still pretty low line, so I'm going to stick with the over on that one.
I'm going to go under here. I think Bills kind of have some stuff to work out on offense, and Commanders' defense is decent. Bills' defense is playing really well, so I feel like they're going to be able to get to Howell, actually, which is tough for any young quarterback. I do like Gabe Davis this week. I was almost going to start him over like Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. I feel like it's tough.
They're all kind of the same class of receiver.
Yeah.
It is tough.
They're relying on a touchdown, basically, unless McLaurin goes crazy.
Or Jahan Dotson started last week with like 5 catches, it felt like, in like the first half, and then just had like nothing.
Yeah. They're kind of a wait-and-see team to me, the Commanders. They're 2-0, but they could lose this week. I think they play the Eagles next week, so it's tough for them.
Yeah, I like McLaurin next week to score a touchdown against the Eagles. But yeah, fuck Red Zone, because that was the last game to air. And then once that was the last game on TV, Red Zone can't stream it anymore. You have to be in the area to watch it. So I didn't get to watch the end of the Broncos Commanders game, which was unfortunate, but it seemed like it turned out crazy. Marvin Mims out of here.
Yeah. Next we got Colts at Ravens. Interesting.
Gardner Minshew might be the starter. So this is another weather game, they say. So this is gonna be weather permitting, but if weather is clear, I like Zay Jones a lot, or Zay Flowers, a lot in this game.
Yeah.
I like Mark Andrews to have a big game. I like those two in particular to have big games, especially with Odell going out. The Ravens seem like they got their shit together. Everyone's giving the Bengals a hard time for how their offense did, but they only had 7 possessions with the ball, and they scored on 3 of them. So the Ravens just did a really good job of controlling the clock and managing the game, and I think they're going to be up a lot in this one. But I like Josh Downs maybe as a sleeper if Gardner Minshew plays, because I think that he gives volume to their receivers that Anthony Richardson usually doesn't in a Michael Pittman game. But that's all weather permitting, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with all that. No notes. I mean, Ravens defense is probably a nice play today.
Yep.
And I mean, who are you going with in the backfield? Justice Hill or Gus Edwards?
They seem like a Kamara team to me, dude. One of these teams are going to trade for Kamara or Jonathan Taylor. I already know. That's why I kind of want to trade for one of those guys in leagues if you have them, because I think that someone's getting moved to one of these teams. No one's going to the playoffs and making a playoff push with Justice Hill at running back. So is it like Leonard Fournette, or who the fuck is it? But it's got to be someone.
True. The options are getting limited. Who knows if they would trade Kamara if they beat the Packers this week. We'll see. Yeah, that would be crazy. I've thought about that low-key because as a JT manager.
So the Ravens are favored by 8.5, but over-under is 44.5.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm going to go with the under here again. Ravens have been doing well, but they haven't been scoring like crazy, I guess. And then Colts, same. It's kind of tough for them right now.
Yeah, shout out Zach Moss. I picked him up. Not even off waivers, just picked him up, and he dropped me like 25 points or something like that. 100 total yards and a tutty. And I don't know if he would have had that if Anthony Richardson played the whole game, because it was like a little 7-yard touchdown or something they ran for. So that was nice to see. But yeah,
You're right. I bet
that's in a game in a couple weeks.
I could see the Colts leaving this week with a loss and a loss of JT to the Ravens. You know, they're all together. Maybe they talk.
Business.
Hey, we used to be in Baltimore.
Kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Did you make a pick in that game?
I did the under.
You did the under in that one?
Yeah.
I'll go with the Ravens minus 8.5. I think they fuck them up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Respectfully.
Because
they want to do business.
Yeah.
They'll just run the ball with Gus Edwards and Lamar. Well, Lamar ran smart. But
they'll win by 8 or something.
This next game that we have is the Atlanta Falcons at the Detroit Lions. It's Detroit minus 3. So basically a pick 'em over under 46.5. I'm having a hard time having like a say on this game, because I watched a little bit of the Falcons the last couple weeks by having Bijan. I watched a lot of the Lions with having Jared Goff, and I don't know what I think about this game. Amon-Ra St. Brown has a little turf toe situation going on.
Yeah.
I think he's the type of player that'll play, but how effective will he be? I know you're a fan of the Falcons' defense.
Yeah, I just saw an article today. They're like sneaky good or something, which is bullshit because the Packers like had that game in the bag. I digress.
But yeah, I don't really know how I feel. I don't have a pick yet in this game, but I don't like Jared Goff, it sounds crazy. Like Jared Goff indoors against the Atlanta Falcons, you seem like that's a smash play. But I just think that, I don't know, for some reason I think he takes a step back this week. The whole Lions do. I think they get a little more humbled. Even though they just got humbled by Seattle. I don't know. Yeah, give me the under 46.5. I'm going under in this game.
This matchup is weird because the Packers and the Falcons matched up a little better, I felt like, but the Lions maybe don't match up as well with the Falcons, and vice versa. So it's a weird game overall. I do think the Lions are maybe a little better on offense than the Packers, so I think I'm just going to go with the Lions. I think that just based on that fact, maybe the Lions are still better than the Packers. They'll beat the Falcons by like a little bit more than the Packers would have if they just got another fucking first down or some shit.
I didn't even watch like the second half of that game. I watched the first half like on my phone, and I had Red Zone on like the main TV, and then I like just stopped watching that. I just watched whatever was on Red Zone.
Because they had it in the bag. It was like the third quarter ended. They had just scored a touchdown. It was like, all right, like let's fucking get out of here. Nope. All of a sudden, we just get shut down out of nowhere. So the defense played like shit.
So that leads us to our next game, is the New Orleans Saints at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are favored by 1.5, over under 42.5. So you're saying the Packers defense you thought played like shit towards the end?
They played decent, and then right at the end, they allow 12 in the fourth quarter. We lose. Jair gets a touchdown scored on him, like.
Dropped an interception, I saw.
Yes.
Still he talks all this shit and can't fucking catch, dude. Like, you gotta like make some fucking plays. You can't just be batting balls all the time.
Yeah, you gotta take one to the house, and especially an easy one like that, like on a platter. Same with Quay Walker. He had one too, but he's at least, I guess, like one of the top graded players right now on defense.
He looks awesome. I liked him since like last year.
He's been all over the place. So against the Saints, I feel like we're a better team than the Saints. It's our homecoming. Like
Jordan Love's first game at Lambeau as a starter.
Yeah, he's gonna be feeling it. The crowd is gonna be showing him love. Noon game. Packers love a noon game. And yeah, it's basically a pick 'em. So I guess I gotta go with the Packers, even if the line is down, even if I think Watson's gonna be back. So that's nice.
He's not practicing today, but it's like a scheduled day of rest, they said, so.
Yeah, that would be awesome to have him back. And I guess the Saints have their corner, Marshawn Lattimore, back playing well, but...
Oh, good. I'm playing against Watson. I hope he shuts him down.
He could. But Matt LaFleur, he's showing that he is a legit offensive coach, I think. Even if, like, Love is missing passes, he still is drawing up crazy plays, which is just awesome. And, yeah, I definitely got to take the Packers here.
But yeah, it's refreshing probably for Matt LaFleur and some Packer fans, too, just to see someone actually like running the offense how it's intended and then going to like the design receiver and stuff like that. Where the dichotomy between that and Aaron Rodgers, where Aaron Rodgers is just dialing everything up at the line of scrimmage and like determining usually where he goes with his eyes and based on the coverage, where Jordan Love probably doesn't have that capability right now. But he's making a lot of good like off platform throws. He has a lot of weird stats though. He's like number 1 in QBR because he has a lot of touchdowns right now, but he has like really low completion percentage. And he's had a couple good like rushes, and I just like that last throw to Samori Toure was on they had like a cool camera view of it, and it's just like Aaron Rodgers, where he just like flicked the ball, and it was really refreshing to see into like triple coverage, and Torrey almost made a great play, and then obviously they overturned it, and then the game was over. But
His arm looks good. Yeah, it's refreshing. You're right.
But I just, in good faith, cannot take the Saints. Unfortunately, Jamal Williams, we'll see if he tries to come back to play against his former team after a hamstring, but I like Kendre Miller. He practiced all last week, but they actually kept him out for the game last week. Tony Jones, I think his name is, or whatever. I think that Kendre Miller's going to have a big game here, and then we might be seeing Kendre Miller. Hopefully Williams' hamstring lingers for a little bit longer because I have Kamara in the league, so hopefully it's Kamara and Kendre Miller. And then maybe Jamal Williams gets traded to one of these teams that need a running back. So yeah, I can in good faith though take the Saints because I think Derek Carr fucking sucks on Monday night or whatever. They have another 2-game Monday night. But last Monday night, I'm sitting here watching the games before I go to my softball. I'm just like, Bryce Young was playing like dick against Derek Carr, just not giving receivers a chance and throwing to Michael Thomas way too fucking much. And then Deshaun Watson playing like dick and Kenny Pickett, just like, this is the best that the NFL has to offer on Monday, the week 2 of the NFL season on Monday night. Like, I could not do it. And I hate Derek Carr. I think he sucks. I think Olave actually has a decent game because usually when you play against better teams, you go to the guys that can win one-on-one matchups. You never know with Derek Carr, though, who he's going to. He might just throw the ball out of bounds and not give his guy a chance. But I like Olave in this game, even though Packers have a good secondary statistically against receivers. So I'm taking the Packers -1.5 as well.
Yeah, good points.
I'm kind of looking at them as like home dogs because they're not favored by at least.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it seems like
the vibes will be high in that game, though. The weather will probably be popping.
Yeah, definitely. It's an interesting matchup, but this matchup is, I guess, similarly.
Hey, you gotta lay down.
Tough to look at. You got the Broncos at the Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 6.5. Over under 47.5. I just don't even know what to make of the Broncos at this point. I guess that's why I'm feeling this way. I love the Dolphins.
Bradley Chubb revenge game.
Oh, true. Is the storm affecting Miami, or is it just further north?
I think it's northeast.
So
based on Twitter,
I'm gonna take the Dolphins here. I don't think the Broncos are really putting it all together too much. They're ahead 6.5. Miami's crazy. Tua's playing crazy. It doesn't matter. You can't stop them right now.
I'm gonna take the Broncos +6.5. I think Samaje Perine has a pretty good game because I think that they're gonna probably not be able to run the ball as well against the Dolphins. So I think they're gonna use Perine as an extension of the run. He did have a good week last week, so I think he's like a good trade target for maybe someone to acquire in leagues this week. I think he's gonna have a good week. Patrick Surtain versus Jalen Waddle, and who missed practice today because I think he had a concussion. Yeah, Jalen Waddle had a concussion, so we'll see if he plays. Maybe they sit him out. If he does get sat, then maybe see a lot of Surtain versus Tyreek Hill. But I think the Broncos front with Randy Gregory in them, I'm going to play a little inspired and give to a little bit of Harvard time. And I'm interested to see if Mostert can keep it up or if Devon Achane is going to get more touches because there's reports that he might be able to get more touches this game. So look for that as an opportunity. But yeah, I'll take the Broncos.
Yeah, I hope to see Achane more. And it looks like this rookie, Bryce, he might not play this game. And so Carolina's at the Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 6.5, over under 42. I was talking to Aaron before this. I feel like the Panthers need to make some moves at this point, even though their season is kind of nothing. They don't have a first-round draft pick. They need to protect Bryce a little bit more. I know he looks like shit, but I guess he's not terrible in terms of how his own play is, aside from like if he had some other playmakers. So I get this year's a wash, but like if he's already feeling hurt, you got to do something right away, I guess. They didn't even rush him in the QB sneaks. His knee or something, I guess, is hurting right now, so it's just not looking good unless you can do something. So the moves I was thinking of is Packers have a deep line. Maybe they could get fucking someone. What the fuck is his name?
How about our center?
Yash.
Oh, Yash Nyman?
Yeah, he has a lot of game experience, and maybe, I don't even know who we would get back. Fucking shitty players. Terrace Marshall, give him a chance somewhere else, or maybe the Panthers should trade for Jameson from the Lions. Maybe the Lions are done with him or something like that. But for this game,
I feel like you're projecting your fantasy team onto Carolina's front office.
Totally, definitely do something. Protect my guys.
Get that stack, Jameson, Bryce stack.
Get Frank Reich out of
that Bible thumper.
For this pick, though, I guess I'm gonna go the Seahawks. I feel like the Panthers are just so shitty. Like nothing is coming together for them right now, and they know it. Seahawks are not that bad.
I'm gonna take the over 42. I think if Andy Dalton plays, I think it actually helps them at their chances of scoring points. Adam Thielen, who I liked at the beginning of the year, I drafted him a couple leagues, ended up dropping after week 1. He actually had a game that on Monday, he had a touchdown and a lot of volume and catches because he plays that security blanket. Even though he doesn't have great separation statistically, he just is going to have the volume there because he has the easy throws and runs the easy routes. But I like Seattle as for the anytime touchdown scores. I like Kenneth Walker. I think he had 2 tutties last week, but I like him to have another good week. Maybe Charbonnet gets a little more quick if they get a bigger lead. I also like JSN to get his first touchdown this week. I think that we saw Lockett and DK both having good games. I think DK got a little banged up. I don't know if he came back in last week or not. But I like JSN to score this week, and I'm going to take the over 42 for my pick.
Nice.
And then was that a 3 o'clock game?
That was
our last noon game, so we'll try to get through this 3 o'clock one. So, Mr. 305, Dale, we got the Bears against the Chiefs. I've seen all the stuff about the Bears online about how the FBI rated for their defensive coordinator. Justin Fields is out here criticizing coaches, and apparently it's the media taking it out of context. I don't care enough about the Bears to actually look in to see what's happening, but I love all the chaos surrounding that organization. I like the Chiefs. The Pacheco, there was questions whether or not he was going to play this week. But I guess he practiced today. So if he, for some reason, doesn't go, I like Jerick McKinnon a lot to get a lot of volume. And I'm actually with Brandon Ayuk in our Dynasty League out tonight. I'm going to play Kadarius Toney. I think this is a perfect Kadarius Toney game where they're going to fuck around and do some fuckery, reverse shit, and give him a lot of opportunities to just do trick plays because it's the Bears. They can take risks, and they'll probably be up by at least 2 touchdowns all game. With that being said, I also like Justin Fields with all people talking about how they're done with him in fantasy. I think this is a time where, yes, he's going to have a lot of 3-and-outs against the Chiefs in Kansas City, but he's probably also going to be scrambling for his life and maybe get 80 to 100 yards rushing. But yeah, other than that, like Roshan Johnson for the Bears in fantasy, because he's been their third down back, and last week they Donta Foreman was inactive. He was a healthy scratch in place of Roshan Johnson. So I like Roshan this week. Maybe Khalil Herbert to get injured, and then the Chiefs are favored by 12.5. The over under is 48.5. I'm gonna take the. I guess I'm gonna take the Chiefs because I bet on the Bears the last 2 weeks. There's no way I'm gonna bet on the Bears again. I know the Chiefs still suck at actually covering the number, but I'll take the Chiefs minus 12.5. I think Kelsey has a bounce back game too.
I agree. I think that Fields is a nice buy low right here because
I'm thinking about it too. Yeah.
He said he doesn't like the coaching. Okay, so what else is there to do but just let him do whatever the fuck he wants? So he's just gonna. They're gonna let him do whatever he wants. So he's gonna be running 22 times a game again. Like, we'll see that maybe. And I don't have much else to say about this game. Tony might get some punt returns because I think Richie James is hurt. So a couple extra points there. If you got Tony.
Another injury that I just keep cycling him out. Shit just keeps working. I got that fantasy magic early on.
I was laughing at this tweet though because someone was like, no one's talking about how Jordan Love kickstarted the Bears' demise, and I won't lie, like I have watched a couple of like Bears fans things, like Bears fans just talking about how depressed they are and how mad they are, and the same way they were saying that about us when we lost to the Lions last year. I was like, yeah, actually this is kind of cathartic.
Or like week 1 when they were like still had aspirations and we beat the shit out of them.
Yes.
And then ever since then it's like, oh, we still suck again. It's like the Adam Sandler or not the Adam Sandler, who's that actor? Rob Schneider. It's
we
the
suck
Rob
again.
We still suck or whatever.
We still suck.
The Bears will always suck, they still suck, but
I'm taking the under.
Under 48.5.
Yeah, I think the Bears suck and
Chiefs win 40-0.
Yeah, they could. I'd love that. But a team that almost just won 40-0 the other week, Cowboys at Cardinals. Cardinals are looking like way better than people thought they would this year. Probably because of their defense, but yet the Cowboys are still favored by 12.5 at the Cardinals for the over-under of 42.5. I know you love your Cowboys.
Yeah, I guess I'll start off here with my Cowboys, America's team. But yeah, I still think the Cowboys are that great. Mike McCarthy called it a great game, but it's kind of easy to do it when the team is pretty one-dimensional and their defense just put them in great spots when they're just basically forcing guys to go 3-and-out. Tony Pollard, I don't think scored a touchdown. I don't think he did. I think this is a big Tony Pollard game. And I think CD has a touchdown. He hasn't scored a touchdown this year. I think CD gets 1, maybe 2 touchdowns. Maybe that's a 2-touchdown bet. I definitely like Pollard for 2 touchdowns if you can maybe bet that one. But for this game, I'm going to go over 42.5. So it just came out that Trayvon Diggs tore his ACL in practice today. So he's out for the rest of the year. So I think he's overrated in general, but you gotta like the odds. Josh Dobbs is playing pretty good, but the Giants fucking suck, and they didn't score at all like in the second half. I think that the Cardinals, this is gonna be a game where they realize that the season really is at a loss, and maybe that early season kind of dumb energy where they are kind of like wanderlust, maybe that goes out the door. And the Cowboys coming off of a big loss, they might overlook the Cardinals, but they can overlook the Cardinals and still beat their ass. So I'm actually I'm still gonna stick with the over 42.5 because I think that they maybe give up like 14 points but can score like 30 on their own.
I am gonna go with the Cowboys. I know it's a large number, 12.5. So they're like, it's a huge number, but Cowboys have been killing people. The Cardinals are at the right moment in time where they can get killed with a shitty team and be like, well, nothing else to play for this game or the rest of the season. You're right. Might as well fucking quit this game and lose by 2 touchdowns. Sucks to suck. Their owner seems like a dick. So we'll see you next year.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm looking at the times of these games, unless the game is just not on the board yet. But the last 3 o'clock games, so you have Bears, Chiefs, Cowboys, Cardinals. The last 3:25 game is Steelers, Raiders. It's Raiders minus 2.5, and the over/under is 43. So I don't know which one of those would be America's game of the week. I feel like that's kind of crazy. I guess it's Cowboys, Cardinals, or Steelers, Raiders, which just seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
But this next game, I like the over 43. The Raiders got ran on by the Bills. They're at home. I feel like everyone scores in Vegas. Everyone wants to play in Vegas. I like George Pickens to have a touchdown. Maybe Pat Frymuth I see scoring a touchdown. Josh Jacobs I think has a little bit of a bounce back game after struggling a little bit because the Steelers lost Cam Hayward for the year. Not for the year, but for like a long time. He went on IR. But yeah, I like the over 43 in this game. Not really much else, but Kenny Pickett still sucks. So does Najee Harris.
Yeah, I agree. This one is I like some bounce backs for both these teams. I could definitely see like a touchdown for Fryermuth, like you said. Pickens, I would lock that in. But Raiders are favored by 2.5, and I don't know. I still want to believe in the Steelers. Yeah, I guess home game. I'm gonna take the Steelers. Yeah, Devontae, and I guess Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a dog, according to his teammates. Or something.
Who said that?
So one of his teammates said that
After the loss of the Bills.
Yeah, because he was like extending plays and not sliding and stuff. So he's really putting it out there. Maybe this.
I wonder
is
who
his
their
last
backup
year.
is, because Jimmy Garoppolo, there's no way he's going to stay healthy all year. I wonder who their backup is. That might be it.
Aiden O'Connell, AOC, that's his name.
Is he from Penn State?
Purdue.
Oh, I don't know who that is. But yeah, I do remember you saying AOC.
Yeah.
I also like Jacoby Myers. If he plays, he's coming off concussion, so I think that he's going to be kind of a volume guy in the middle of the field for them, too.
I like that. Sunday night game is Philly Eagles at the Buccaneers. Cassius's new favorite team, the Pirates.
Oh, Sunday night.
Yeah, the new.
Over under Snoop Dogg, or is he Monday night? There's
Monday night. Yeah.
ESPN so woke.
Over under 46. Eagles are favored by 4.5. Buccaneers have been looking good. I mean, it's tough to say with Baker, but he's having a renaissance year. Mike Evans having a renaissance year. Rashad White looks to be a legit fantasy player. But against the Eagles, it's going to be running into a brick wall, unfortunately. The Eagles are a good-ass team. In terms of who I like for this game, give me all your Eagles. And give me Rashad White. Yeah, I could see him getting a touchdown.
Yeah, so Jake McKinney was telling me that Jalen Hurts might be hurt, so we'll see if maybe that was playing a factor into it. But AJ Brown, we saw him bitching on the sidelines on Thursday Night Football last week, and then they proceeded to throw him a touchdown. They got called back for a holding, and then the very 2 plays later they threw him another touchdown. Then he got interfered with clearly, and he would have caught the ball, but they didn't. Obviously, it wasn't a touchdown. DeAndre Swift looks like he's the man. You never feel totally comfortable with the Philadelphia Eagles with their running backfield, but by Kenneth Gainwell missing that game, DeAndre Swift looked like he just knew he just looks the part.
Unreal, yeah.
He looks like the best number 0. Him and Calvin Ridley right now for wearing the first number 0s in the league. So I like DeAndre Swift. In this game for volume. I don't know if he gets the touchdown, which kind of sucks with him because Jalen Hurts is, even though he might be injured according to our Jake Schefter. I still think he gets the 1-yard touchdowns, but I like AJ Brown a lot this week, and I like Goddard to score. Goddard, he had 6 catches from 20 yards or something, 24 yards last week, but I think that he gets a touchdown this week. I think the Buccaneers Are they 2? Yeah, they're 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
But they only played the Bears and the fucking Vikings, the NFC North, who sucks dick, clearly. So I think that they get a little humbled here on Sunday Night Football. Baker Mayfield will probably get a turnover to the Eagles. Hammer the Eagles -4.5 for you, boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely take the Eagles here. I like to see Baker playing well though. It's at least like good for him. He doesn't deserve the hate. I don't think he gets.
I think he does, but whatever.
Monday night we got Super Bowl rematch from 2 years ago. Rams at Bengals.
That some of us watched it at Bob's house when within the first couple of months that he moved back to Milwaukee. Bob had a Super Bowl party.
True, yeah, my house was still a lot more full of stuff then too. It's crazy to think back. But that was a great Super Bowl. Still a lot of similar players on the teams as the Super Bowl teams too. Over under 43.5, and the Bengals are favored by 3 at home.
Joe Burrow is questionable. He tweaked his calf, so
that's right.
I think that I'll play. I listened because I had Joe Burrow in the league, so I just searched his name on Twitter to see what the fucking hubbub was. And his coach Zach Taylor did a little interview, like a 7-minute interview with Rich Eisen, who I respect as an NFL lifer. Rich Eisen's like awesome.
Yep.
And people give him generally like real, genuine interviews where they're authentic. And based on how Zach Taylor was talking, he didn't say he was going to play or anything like that, but it seems like he was okay with where he was at. So I think that Joe Burrow plays. The Rams, who have Puka Nacua, is still he played better in week 2 than he has in week 1. He's has the record for most receptions to start a career.
Insane.
But I think I see some regression from Puka, because I think the first week is like, oh, that's an anomaly. No one's gonna prepare for Puka. Week 2, it happened again. The Bengals aren't just going to let that safety blanket just get these little 7-yard routes. They're going to key off on him and make the Vance Jeffersons and Tutu Atwells beat them. Kyron Williams, I think he still gets the volume, but I don't know if he gets 2 touchdowns again or even a touchdown. Maybe we see Zach Evans get some clock now that Cam Akers is no longer there. But I like the over 43.5, and I just like the Rams actually being relevant. So if you have Cooper Kupp in one of your leagues, which I have him in our Dynasty, and in John's redraft league, I just traded James Cook and Nico Collins for Cooper Kupp, because I think it's so important to have a true wide receiver 1 on your team. And I was so sick of just going between Terry McLaurin, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers on who to play. I just want a true number 1 guy. So I think he's worth the gamble. If the Rams keep up a fight, and they could potentially win this game, like. This game, if you told us people at the start of the year what the spread in this game was, the Bengals would probably be favored by at least like 8 to 10 points. But now the Bengals desperately need a win. They're at home. They got booed after their first home opener against the Browns, where it was raining like piss. But I like the over 43.5 in this game, because I think both teams can put up some points. And I like Jamar Chase to score a touchdown after T. Higgins is coming off too. Also, Joe Mixon may be a good game, but maybe if Joe Burrow is hurt, maybe they lean on that with the Rams a little bit softer on the inside after they let some people go. But that's
yeah,
I think it'll be a fun game regardless.
I would take the over here. We'll see if Aaron Donald can cause some havoc for Joe Burrow, but in terms of your Rams, we'll see if they're legit. I feel like this is a prove-it game for them. And I don't think that they'll be able to. Yeah, I feel like there's probably enough tape out there now to where Puka and Tutu will maybe get shut down a little bit. But we'll see. Maybe they can be creative.
So we actually have to just make a claim. So the Eagles, Buccaneers, and Rams, Bengals, those are the 2 Monday night games. The Sunday night game is actually Steelers, Raiders.
This trips us up.
Steelers get more fucking prime time again. Which is crazy.
Yeah, the format on FanDuel tripped us up last week too.
Because they put the time underneath the game rather than on top of it. It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, that's basically what we got for
week 3.
Week 3. I think it's been a fun NFL season so far. Our dynasty is heating up. Sal got hurt by the injury bug. I played Jake and Kane this week in a battle of 2-0.
Clash of the Titans.
Two very strong teams. But I'm actually okay with the loss because I played John Griffith and then now Jake. I was like, if I can go 1-1 in this, like, I'm straight. But the winner of Jake and I, our matchup, I think we're going to both be feeling pretty good about being maybe just in a position to be the overall winner of the regular season, which is $100 and high points, because we're both pretty up there in high points. As for yourself, you are 0-2, getting called out in the chat as fraudulent. What do you have to say to those fraud allegations?
Just rent-free in people's minds, clearly. The first team they want to talk about is your boy, and we got some injuries to start. I always knew this would be tough, first 4 weeks, especially after the JMO suspension. So we're waiting.
Coming out a guy with like 1 career catch.
We're waiting on JMO here, and
JT trade.
JT trade, that would be nice. Eckler needs to come back.
Who do you play this week in Dynasty?
I play Michael Ann this week, so
Coming off a win. Shout out Mike.
yeah, Michael Ann's team did well, and her team is not that bad. I feel like if she could maybe get like
If she could get a quarterback, she could compete.
quarterback,
And like a true receiver.
decent flex or something, yeah, like she's got a lot of guys, but it's tough to pick.
They're all the same guys.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not worried.
You're not worried, but you put your whole team on the trade block at like 6 in the morning. My phone's fucking buzzing, saying all this shit's going off. And it's like,
Stay up.
It's like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, no one wants Terry McLaurin. I think it's just, you're hard to trade with. You're hard to trade with because you value your guys so high. So, and if you still think that you're in it, it's kind of hard to actually,
Yeah,
like, would you trade Terry McLaurin for a 2nd round pick right now?
maybe. Depending. But maybe, yeah. I've put some feelers out there to a few people to see if they want anything.
Put them out there. What do you got out there?
Haven't got anything. Not gonna put it out there yet.
Either a text or just the trade?
Both. So we got some movement. I feel like there's gonna be some trades in the league soon. We'll see what happens. But
yeah, Willie texted me today about a trade. He was looking to acquire Roshan or Tajay Spears, and he said that he's gonna try to be better to reach out via text before he sends offers or something like that. I was like, oh, I wonder where he's getting that from. But yeah, it's starting to make a little more sense now. But yeah, I think the trades, it's really just right now is kind of a turning point in the league, especially after week 3. I made a trade in my redraft league because I feel like it's almost too close to some guys getting off IR, getting off PUP like Jonathan Taylor. It's like I'd rather roll the dice and be early on the guys rather than just wait until their value goes up. So are there any guys out there in the league in particular? It doesn't have to be like in our Dynasty league, but just in general of like buy guys or like sell guys. Like for me, I'm having a hard time debating between like Kyron Williams, Nico Collins, and James Cook. Like who I would rather like sell basically, because I have James Cook and Kyron Williams in like every single league. And James Cook, he gets the volume, but he doesn't get the touchdowns. And Kyron Williams, I just feel like after having the Rams going back to their Cam Akers rookie year, where they had Cam Akers, the guy that Darrell Henderson, and they had one other fucking guy that I forget his name, but he's like a round ball. It was before Sony Michel, but they always play the carousel. So I just don't trust the Rams running backs. And you said you like Akers more for Kyron Williams rest of the year more than James Cook. So I think you constantly have to be like battling like when is the right time to trade these guys, because you want to win and you want them to contribute on your team, but you also don't want to be stuck when that team like Elijah Mitchell, they trade a Christian McCaffrey and it's like, oh, all their value is fucking completely gone. So it's a constant battle. But I like selling on all those guys. Nico I'd sell, Kyron I'd sell, and James Cook I would sell. Any guys that stick out in general for you to be sell high, guys?
Yeah, I think probably Puka. His value is somehow crazy right now. I mean, obviously it's historic, whatever. But besides that, I think a good buy target everyone knows is Waddle. Everyone's been trying to get Waddle, I think, for years from Yanni.
Really? I've never been a Waddle guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like people have been trying to.
I mean, before they got Tyreek, I was a Waddle guy his rookie year, but.
Oh, no, I like Waddle a lot right now. Let's see, other buy lows. People are hating on T. Higgins right now, even though he's been doing really well.
I might be a sell high on T. Higgins guy too, but he clearly looks the part. He's a red zone target, and if if they don't franchise tag him, which I don't know if they can or how their money works, but they might not pay him, so he could be a wide receiver 1. So I would but it always depends on where he goes. Like, let's say he goes to Carolina, he played at Clemson. Let's say he goes to Carolina and it's Bryce Young's number 1 target, another year under Bryce Young. If Bryce Young isn't the guy still next year, it's like, oh, T. Higgins is Terry McLaurin, where he just is a good receiver with a shitty quarterback, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
But with Joe Burrow, he has a really high floor. But yeah, T. Higgins. So you're a buy on T. Higgins?
Yeah. I think he's good. Well, I was just thinking because people are hating on him. Yeah, for that reason, he's gonna leave. He won't be back. Maybe. And then I already said Rachaad White. I think he's a legit running back. Maybe we'll see his value increase after these moments. I don't think Sean Tucker's getting the target share that I wanted for him.
It's so early though, and like they've had like positive like game scripts. So I think I'm actually a sell high on Rachaad White guy. I would sell high on Rachaad White just because he doesn't have the greatest draft capital.
Yeah.
And I still don't see the Buccaneers as a winning team this year. Like maybe they get to 6 total wins, and if he has little injuries, they're just not going to play him. So I actually would be a sell on Rachaad White, and I'd try to get whoever's in that backfield, like a what's his face? Tucker, yeah. I don't know, number 44 ever since Ahmad Bradshaw and James Starks. It just looks good in the backfield. He looks like he belongs. So I'd rather buy Sean Tucker than Rachaad White.
Oh, yeah, nice.
But yeah, other than that, I guess we kind of just went through the blips and chips within our overall analysis. But I'm just excited the NFL season is here.
Yes.
It was nice Sunday. I just had a true Sunday by myself. I woke up initially. I hit you up like on Saturday night and about maybe doing something on Sunday, but then I was up late as fuck watching my Colorado Buffs pull out their win against Colorado State. I was sitting here watching.
Go Buffs.
I was watching a movie with my girl, and then I was watching fucking the game on my phone because I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid. So yeah, that was an insane game.
Yeah, it was.
Shout out Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Sucks that he's gonna be out.
Fuck that safety.
Games. Yeah, so fuck that safety. It's personal.
Yeah.
But it's dirty at the same time. So we'll see if my Buffs get humbled.
Against Oregon.
And then USC coming up without Hunter. But yeah, it was nice to have a Sunday. I just woke up late on Sunday. I was like, I'm just gonna chill and watch all the fucking games. And yeah, that's what I fucking did.
Yeah,
awesome.
Same. Carly's cousin came. She lives in Sun Prairie, but she just came for the day, and they were just kind of hanging out. But I was like, I'm gonna fucking bring my other TV in here. I'm just gonna chill and watch football as much as I can.
Double TV.
Yeah.
Nice.
Red Zone you can watch it on the thing now. So
That's nice. So you can cast it. That's a game changer.
Yeah, it's nice. And this weekend I'll be in Illinois again, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately.
Are you traveling on Sunday or?
Probably after the Packer game.
Okay.
Which is noon, yeah, so I bet we'll probably come back at like 3 or something. Be home at like 4:30.
Well, that's probably good because we saw the 3 o'clock slate. It sucks dick. So if you do have something to do, if you have something to do on Sunday, Saturday is a good college football slate. So it's not apple picking weather yet. But if you need to do something with a significant other, maybe try to schedule it for around like 3 o'clock. After 3 o'clock on Sunday is a good time to get your family time in. But those noon, it's another full ass noon slate. The Sunday night game, Raiders, Steelers, isn't great. So maybe you pop in a movie and just follow along. But
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's I'm just looking forward to it. Overall, in all my leagues, I've only lost one matchup, so I'm doing really well this year. I'm looking for the shoe to drop because you already know regression is coming. You see with your team from last year, the touchdown regression. It happens week to week. Like, oh, my team did so good. I'm just waiting for the production to drop off. Someone's like, oh, I wish my guy had all those yards and catches without a touchdown because then they're more likely to get a touchdown, whatever.
So I always stay positive. Like, oh, my team's doing shitty right now. That means they'll be doing better later.
Exactly. That means they're due. They're due.
Yeah, they're due.
They're due.
All my guys are just due. That's this.
But yeah, any shout outs or call outs that you got?
Oh man, I was thinking of a shout out earlier, but I can't remember it. But yeah, I'm gonna shout out the Packers. Like, it's fun to be a Packers fan again. We lost, and it was a game where we maybe shouldn't have lost, but it's fun to kind of be young and exciting and like, hey, we'll get them next time.
Yeah.
It's all right, kid. We'll get them next time.
I'm gonna shout out Restore in Franklin and also Goodwill. So now that I have a girlfriend, last Saturday I had like a real true like couples day where we just went like thrifting and like went shopping and went to IKEA. Like, I love that shit, dude. I usually do that shit by myself, so it's nice to have a woman's touch with me. And I finally got my circular rug for my dining room and my circular table. And also shout out to Jake McKinney, who gifted me a Vizio, 55-inch Vizio. So I threw that bitch up in my room. So now I can relax and...
There's levels to this shit.
There's levels to this shit. Also, shout out Yanni. He gave me a driver for my drill so I could put up the TV.
Nice.
My call-outs, I don't really have any call-outs right now. My life is going pretty good right now. I can't really complain. I'm only spreading love and spreading positivity, positive vibes only over here.
I always like to call out the league, so gonna call out the league. Let's make some trades. Hit me up. Trade block is hot.
I'll say this about trades. Sometimes you have to be willing to take like a temporary deem, like a loss in a trade, and just have some conviction. If you believe that the player is going to be worth whatever random picks, or that you can get those picks back some other ways, sometimes you got to take a loss. Like, I've probably made the most trades in our league, and the shit's finally kind of paying off. I have like a deep taxi of just guys that are good for year to year, and I have like young value. So if you're scared to make a move, sometimes you just got to do it. And it's like when you get fired from a job. Like, sometimes it's the best thing that could happen to you because it gives you like a kick in the ass.
Yeah.
And it's something that just like, it pushes you to do something that would be out of your comfort zone. So if you don't like your team, fucking make a move and try to make it better. Even if it's like a temporary loss and it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to play someone off the waiver wire in a flex. You can get a guy like fucking Zach Moss that you buy week to week, but maybe you want that asset going forward that's gonna set you up for success down the road. So stay up.
Maybe you do want Terry McLaurin.
Ain't nothing in there, bro.
Yeah, stay up.
Stay high and have a great weekend. And we'll see you next week. Oh yeah, going forward, we like the Friday release. It just makes it a little bit cleaner.
True.
Because it sets the table. There's not really many great podcasts to listen to on Fridays, and you have the whole weekend to kind of get you caught up. So
yeah. Yep. Change the schedule. More professional. Well, look out, podcasters.
We out here. Peace.
Sell high.
And stay up.